Hello everyone, welcome to Sons of Technology. This is Utkarsh and today we'll be starting with the Python tutorial. Let's start to understand the very basics of Python that we'll be covering. First things first, what is Python? Then Python features, why not Python? We'll be seeing where Python is useful and where it isn't. Python 2 versus Python 3, other Pythons, and later on setting up your Python environment. First things first, what is Python? Now Python is a widely used, that means that it is very popular, interpreted. Python goes line by line while executing code. Object oriented, Python follows the OOPS paradigm and high level programming language. That means Python works on high level rather than the assembly or the machine level. With dynamic semantics, Python has dynamic types which depend on assignment for type specification. Used for general purpose. Now that means that Python can be used anywhere, whether it be front-end or back-end development programming language. Now Python was created by Guido van Rossum. The idea was conceived around 1980s and firstly implemented in 1989. The goals set up by Guido van Rossum for Python were that it should be an easy and intuitive language, but as at the same time it should be powerful as its competitors. It should be open source, that anyone can contribute to the development. Code that is as understandable as English, that's why the indentation is there. Suitable for everyday tasks, allowing for short development times. Next is Python features. Now Python is easy to learn, teach, use, understand as well as install. Now Python is easy to learn because time needed to learn Python is much shorter than any other language. Writing Python programs is very easy and takes almost nothing to get started with a basic application. It is easy to teach. Python's focus on language independent techniques helps teaching. It is easy to use. Code in Python is more concise and efficient and hence easier to use. Some of these features include list comprehensions, lambdas, etc. These are the features which make it more concise and efficient. It is easy to understand. Python's easy syntax helps us in understanding each other's code faster. Install. Python is easier to install, obtain, and deploy than most other languages. Why Python? Why not? Why Python? Now Python is used extensively across these applications: internet services, development tools, everyday tools, scientific tools, testing tools. Almost all the areas you can see that Python is very much applicable. But Python is rarely used in these areas. Low level programming. Now Python has a speed difference which becomes an issue in this level of programming. So when you're going to be doing hardware programming, then you'll be using C and other languages but not Python. Mobile applications do not use Python. Python 2 versus Python 3. Python 2 is the earlier version of Python. Now the libraries that come with Python 2 are no longer forwards compatible, or they are not supported, they are obsolete. It uses the ASCII coding, which has a lesser number of characters than Unicode. It rounds down the results to integers rather than using the precision floating points, and print used to be a keyword with Python 2. Python 3 is the future version of Python. Its libraries are supported and are forwards compatible. It uses Unicode, which has a character set encoding of much larger characters than ASCII. It gets results with precision, and print is a method. Other Pythons. Python versions help in Python's integration and development. So we have several other Python versions as well. So C Python. Now this is the default version of Python that we will be using. It uses a C interpreter. This is maintained by the Python Software Foundation. All other versions of Python should follow the standards which are set by the PSF. Jython or Java Python. Python written in Java instead of C. It is used to integrate Python code into Java applications. When we have complex Java applications and we want to use Python's flexibility in them, then we use Jython. The current Jython implementation only supports Python 2 and not Python 3. PyPy, Python and RPython. Now Python that uses RPython, which is a subset of Python. The RPython stands for restrictive Python. Now this is to test features of new Python versions itself. So RPython converts the Python code into C and then executes the code separately, and hence it is very useful in testing new Python features. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.